Peut-être tout ça. Peut-être tout ça.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Go F.O.C. Yourself. My name is Brandon. We are here about half an hour earlier than we usually are. And that is because this month, and I believe the first week of August, are going to be a little bit different. What I intend to do is be at our old store location on Fridays and Saturdays to do a clearance center. Now, that's not happening today. I'm not going there today or tomorrow because it is well over 30 degrees Celsius here in Alberta. And that's not something that happens here in Alberta. Generally speaking, it's been, I think it's been over 40 here. And yeah, we're not going to subject people to a sweltering heat death trap. That would suck. I don't think any of you would enjoy it, especially as a clearance center. You want to browse. You want to make sure you're finding some good deals. And yeah, that's not going to happen. But that said, as you might know, we have moved our store. We are in a new location for our main store. It's at 15129 Stony Plain Road here in Edmonton, Alberta, if you are local watching this. It is a bright, awesome new space. And we're very proud of being able to move the store in such a quick fashion, thanks to some volunteers who we kept well distanced, and some movers and some painters, and very soon some tilers. Our signage is coming very soon. Our new signage. There was a snafu in the design phase, so that bumped things back. What can you do? So yeah. We're going to get right into the final order cutoff stuff here. As always, we've got a few rules. Rule number 1, stories first, collecting second. We're going to go over the stories behind everything coming out. New arcs, new number 1s. And we're not going to concern ourselves too much with variants, although we will point out the odd thing if it really, really jumps out at us. There's a whole bunch of podcasts and streaming out there that will tell you the hot books. We're just going to tell you the good stories. Helpful information is always welcome. If you've got something that you want to say, definitely feel free to pipe in here or contact me at bshots@variantedmonton.com. And it'll pop up live here, or we'll hold it until next time and we will do it then. Unhelpful information will not be acknowledged unless you address me as Comics Daddy, and sometimes not even then. So you can comment wherever you're watching this. And if it's not contributing to what's happening here, I won't pop it up on the screen unless, as it says, you call me Comics Daddy, and depending on what it is, maybe not even then. Rule number 4, don't be a ding-dong. Now, the store had another fun run-in with a fake review. You can always tell the fake reviews because they're almost get things right, but they're clearly getting their information not from actually being around or knowing the culture of the store. And they use profile pics that you can get on stock photos. So that's fun. Don't be a ding dong. Don't be like that, ding dong. All right. we're going to jump into some stuff. It is really warm here. I'm not sure if you can hear the fan that I have on, but it's the only thing keeping me alive so that you don't watch somebody literally die on camera. That is not what we're going to do here. I feel like that would be awkward for at least one of us. All right, what am I popping up? I'm popping up previews world. Oh yeah. So a few things that we're going to go over this week because wow. There's a lot more final order cutoff things to get through, including my good friends, Penguin Random House orders. So that we're going to get into today as well. Although we're going to kind of figure out how we're going to go about showcasing that stuff, as some of it is a little outside of my personal wheelhouse, and could use some refreshers on like a lot of the ongoing manga projects that will be on here. But before then, we're going to hit up the good old-fashioned diamond. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. You can tell I'm super on top of it right now. What with the move and everything. I've definitely got everything ready and at my fingertips. Exactly what I want. All right. Starting out with some Image comics. Something a lot of folks will be very interested in, as evidenced by many folks who flagged us down for it. The Department of Truth #1 is getting a final printing, as it says, 6th printing. There will be some variants that go along with this. They are qualified variants. Your store may or may not get them. So please definitely be aware of that as it pops up. The Department of Truth is one of our favorite new series. We actually have a store exclusive cover of the graphic novel of the first 5 issues. So we're very happy about that. And of course, Dylan Todd putting together another outstanding mash and layout for the Department of Truth cover here, with Martin Simmons providing the art. And that said, the Department of Truth is continuing with their 11th issue as well. Gideon Falls, the deluxe hardcover volume 1, a brilliant series. We'll get into a little bit more of the concept here. The first book of the Eisner Award-winning horror series from Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino, collected in a deluxe hardcover edition. The lives of a washed-up Catholic priest arriving in a small town full of dark secrets and a reclusive young man obsessed with a conspiracy in the city's trash become intertwined around the mysterious legend of the Black Barn, an otherworldly building alleged to have appeared in both the city and the small town throughout history, bringing death and madness in its wake. Rural mystery and urban horror collide in this character-driven meditation on obsession, mental illness, and faith from the creators that writer Brian Michael Bendis said will go down as one of the greatest comic teams of all time. This edition features plenty of extras, including a variant cover gallery from some of comics' best artists like Cliff Chiang, Jacques Tulalote, Scotty Young, and many more. Very cool. Image has another book from, I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name properly, Simon Stalenhag, who does these beautiful surreal portraits of real life that look like almost like photographs with bizarre elements to them. It's just absolutely outstanding, and I'm very excited for there to be another book, The Labyrinth. Visionary illustrator and author Simon Stelhag presents a tense, dark tale of ruin and vengeance set amongst a stunning sci-fi apocalypse like you've never seen before. An 8-wheeled vehicle trundles across a barren landscape of ash and ruined buildings toward a lone bunker deep in the wilderness. Inside the vehicle are 3 passengers, 2 scientists who plan to use the outpost as a home base for the study of world-ending phenomena, and a boy named Charlie. As the work unfolds, the isolation and claustrophobia of the compound threatens each member of the expedition with madness. Forced to confront their own dark history and the struggles of the haves and have-nots, the members of the expedition find themselves hurtling towards ruin. The first volume of Lady Mechanica gets a reprinting here. Now at Image Comics. It started out at Aspen, went to Joe Benitez's own publisher, and is now has a nice home at Image, where a lot of the marketing lifting can be done. Newly remastered edition of the Steampunk Adventure series' first volume, featuring a revised script and updated lettering. In a Victorian world filled with flying dirigibles and clockwork automatons, a young woman searches desperately for the secrets to her past, a past that left her with extraordinary but unnatural mechanical limbs. It is the first issue of Sweet Paprika. I know a lot of folks who are very excited for this new Mirka Andolfo story to get into their head. Paprika is a successful businesswoman, a New Yorker of Italian origin. Job and career consume her, forcing her to neglect her personal needs as well as her friends and family. Her heart is broken from a previous relationship, and its consequences and a rigid upbringing has made her a very introverted person. She wants a romantic relationship, but she doesn't know what she's doing. Not like Dill. I don't know. And suave delivery boy with an angelic attitude, handsome, and always surrounded by beautiful women falling for him. He doesn't have a worry in the world, and this makes Paprika very nervous. But he's the guy who could help her with her feelings and with sex. Bridget Jones's Diary meets Sex in the City with a pinch of The Devil Wears Prada in this new international hit by acclaimed creator Mirka Andolfo. Some more Skybound X. We always pop in because they do have a little bit of a different flavor in each one, and we don't want you to miss out on something that you might really enjoy, including the 4th chapter of Rick Grimes 2000, plus a new Redneck story and Excellence, as well as the very first appearance of Sea Serpent's Air, which will be part of Skybound's young adult line that will be starting next year. I believe this is some, or at least that first one was from that. Very freaking cool. All right. Heading up here, we've got Cat's Perfect Strangers, a collection of lighthearted short comic stories following the lives of 3 young women and their cats. Best friends Manon, Erica, and Camille see adventure every day, but when all 3 become cat owners, everything changes for the better and for worse. Grow up with these quirky cats and share in all the excitement and fun that comes with raising a cat. I wonder if we're going to stock this book. Hard to say, really. Critical Role Mighty Nine Origins Jester. This is going to be an original graphic novel, so will not have come out in single issues. Jester Lavore has had an unconventional upbringing, even for one born in cosmopolitan Nicodranas. Daughter of the famed Ruby of the Sea, she had many opportunities for mischief as a small child, of which she took full advantage. Dive into the mystery of Jester's early years, her first meeting with the Traveler, and the fateful events that set her on the path that would eventually join the Mighty Nine. Jester's story is brought to life by writer Sam Meggs, with art by Hunter Severin Bunyan, in direct consultation with Laura Bailey. It's available as a gorgeous hardcover, ready to take its place in your Critical Role library. Critical Role always does extremely well for us here. Ooh, the Dark Horse Book of Horror. I'm very excited for a softcover printing of this. This collects a bunch of different books that have anthology books that Dark Horse did over the years, including the Book of Monsters, the Book of Witchcraft, the Book of Hauntings, and the Book of the Dead. This was where the Beast of Burden first appeared, serialized in here. And as you can see from this side over here, a murderer's row of fantastic creators: Mike Mignola, Gary Gianni, Jill Thompson, Evan Dorkin, Sean Phillips, P. Craig Russell, Paul Chadwick, Kurt Busiek, and so many more people. Very freaking exciting. There's also, man, there's a lot of collected editions on this one. MK Reed and Spike C. Troutman. Who does Iron Circus? Heck yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Have a collected edition here. When the door to a living dungeon surfaces in a tiny hamlet of Oddgoat, village girl Temerity Astor has two choices: abandon the only home she's ever known to carpetbaggers and sell swords, or carve out a place for herself and her family in a new and dangerous world of delving. Enigma is a collection of an old Vertigo series, I believe, that is coming to Dark Horse from Berger Books, from Karen Berger's imprint. Enigma is a visceral, postmodern tale of self-discovery and sexual identity, told against the backdrop of outrageous superheroes and villains. Michael Smith lives a meaningless life, but when the weird characters from Enigma, his favorite childhood comic, seem to come to life, Michael embarks upon an increasingly obsessive crusade to uncover the incredible secret behind their improbable existence, and ultimately his own. Considered a classic and groundbreaking graphic novel for its LGBTQIA2S+ themes, when first released, featuring the first gay superhero in mainstream comics, with a brand new cover by Duncan Fegredo and a treasure trove of nearly 50 pages of extras, including development art, color sketches, and behind-the-scenes notes into the making of this celebrated story. Kieran Gillen says, beautiful, literary, decades ahead of its time, this is the greatest adult superhero comic of the 90s, at least. Evil Dead is getting the 40th anniversary edition. This was an adaptation that Dark Horse did, and they're recollecting it. It was a beautiful piece of work, and the art does look like this all on the inside. So if you're into Evil Dead, that is something to look out for. Exo Legend of Wale Williams. This is from the Unique Universe, the shared universe of African fantasy and superhero stories that a few books have been solicited already, and then will be coming out soon. The oldest son of the world-renowned scientist Wally Williams, aka tech-savvy superhero Exo, tries to save Lagoon City from a deadly group of emerging extremists. But before this pending superhero can do any good for his city, there is one person he must save first: himself. A natural-futurist superhero story about redemption set in the bustling metropolis that is Lagos, Nigeria, with a creative team that is also from Lagos. Kind of neat how they're just doing some representation of folks that are representative. Very cool. Gru meets Tarzan from Mark Evanier, Sergio Aragones, and Tom Yates. The team behind the hit Gru the Wanderer series goes to Comic-Con, finding inspiration not only for their enthusiastic fans, but their fellow creators, too, especially those working on Tarzan strips. Sergio Aragones finds a way to introduce the two characters to each other, and so Tarzan, the Lord of the Jungle, is set on a path that will lead him to Gru, the master of cheese dip. Also includes the return of the Referto backup strips. So exciting for folks who've been champing at the bit for more Gru. Well, it's happening. It's happening real soon. We have The House from Philip Seavey and Drew Zucker. During the Battle of the Bulge, a squadron of U.S. soldiers is caught in a blizzard while patrolling through the woods, seeking refuge from the impending whiteout. They stumble across an abandoned manor, seeking shelter and safety. Once inside, however, The doors disappear, rooms begin to morph, exits become entrances, and they quickly realize there is no safety to be found. As their eyes deceive them, their minds descend into madness, panic, and paranoia. Is this real? Or is there more to this labyrinth than what resides within the walls? Secrets are revealed, history retold, and death is the only mercy. Another volume of the Minecraft graphic novel series is coming out. Always a hit here, as well as some Plants vs. Zombies, which is getting another box set. Onwards to IDW, where the Batman and the Max crossover is finally getting collected. From Sam Keith, a devious new doctor at Arkham Asylum is conducting unconventional experiments into the human psyche, and he kicks off a chain reaction of disaster when he carries out tests on Arkham's newest patient, the Max. The city of Gotham is starting to merge with the Max's psychedelic mental landscape known as the Outback, blurring the line between the real and the unreal. It's up to Batman to save not just Gotham, but all of reality, and he and the Max are going to have to travel through some of the darkest places imaginable, the twisted minds of Batman's greatest enemies. Join Batman and the Max on an off-kilter and unforgettable romp through the diabolical unconsciousnesses of Batman's greatest foes, including Harley Quinn, the Penguin, Killer Croc, and of course the Joker. There's Jekyll Island Chronicles. Cities burn, electricity crackles, and the world hangs in the balance as the award-winning alternate history graphic novel trilogy comes to a stunning conclusion. Action picks up where the Jekyll Island Chronicles Book 2 left off. The cabal of anarchists known internationally as Xeno have stolen the plans to Nikola Tesla's death ray and intend to build it and use it first on the heroes of Jekyll. Meanwhile, Tesla and his contemporaries, Charles Proteus Steinmetz and Henry Ford, work against the clock to come up with an improbable chance to render the weapon useless. For their biggest challenge yet, our heroic regulars, mechanically limbed Peter Carvok, electrically powered Helen Huxley, high-flying Billy Caulfield, and the brilliant cryptologist Solomon Taylor must build an army of new heroes that join the battle royale on the tiny Georgia island of Jekyll. With more thrilling science heroism than ever before, A Last Call completes the Jekyll Island trilogy as the forces of good stand up one last time against those who seek to burn the world. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles annual hanging out here from longtime regular series writer Tom Waltz. For millennia, the Pantheon family have played a deadly game of chess with humanity, willingly sacrificing innocent and guilty alike in their twisted pursuit of victory. But now one member of the family sees an opportunity to end the eternal contest once and for all. A final crushing triumph over his immortal siblings and all of human and mutant kind. The time has arrived for the Rat King to make his most chaotic and destructive moves yet. The time has come at last for the Armageddon game. And for those of you who missed it, because it was a little allocated, Usagi Yojimbo number 20 second printing, which is the first appearance of Yukishi, who is supposedly going to be the main hero of the upcoming Usagi Yojimbo animated series. I like that they're doing this now. Very good. Leaves less room for lots of confusion. So it looks like a lot of continuing series here. Nothing really to focus on quite yet. Miles Morales, Marvel Tales number 1. This will be a reprint series, and it looks like they've got find out in this debut scene from Ultimate Fallout number 4 and the Mythos making Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 1 to 5. So that's a good chunk of comics for just $8 American. Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads #1 continues the Symbiote Spider-Man series of past comics in the past when Pete had the black and white costume. Peter David and Greg Land do the time warp again after 3 sense-shattering series. Peter David, Greg Land, Jay Leiston, and Frank D'Amata. The entire Symbiote Spider-Man crew return. This time, they're taking Spider-Man down the road less traveled to the supremely psychedelic Crossroads dimension. In their most ambitious series yet, the Symbiote team puts Peter Parker and his alien costume on a collision course with none other than the Incredible Hulk in a story set just before Peter David's landmark run on the Hulk series. Combining a bit of 2 fandoms, mixing them up into one. We've got the United States of Captain America #2, which will feature a new character. We'll pop up this one because it will have Natasha Bustos's concept art for Nichelle Wright, the Captain America of Harrisburg. Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson are hot on the trail of the S.H.I.E.L.D. thief, but their adversary remains one step ahead, and he has friends in low places. Some of Captain America's oldest enemies are behind the scheme, but can Sam and Steve figure out who their enemies are and what they want in time to stop them? And in a story from Mohole Mashigo and Natasha Bustos, who is Nichelle Wright, the Captain America of Harrisburg, and will her community stand up for her when the S.H.I.E.L.D. thief frames her for a terrible crime? I see some preview pages here from the main story and from the back, or from the co-feature, basically. Venom 35 is getting a second printing, as well as Web of Spider-Man #2 and X Factor 10. It's very a wide array of stuffs. What does Dynamite have? Usually Dynamite has Dynamite stuff. Lots of covers. Lots of covers. Indeed, that's what they have. Lots of covers. And we got Boom. Boom has a Dune one-shot that folks will be interested in here. From the same writing creative team with Adam Gorham on art. When the choice is vengeance or honor, which lies at the heart of a Sardaukar? Ooh, this is going to be rough for me and my pronunciation. So just roll with me, please. Japati Colonna, one of the Sardaukar, the adventure of the Emperor's elite military unit, they are unbeatable, unbending in their devotion to the Emperor and feared throughout the galaxy. When Japati meets Duke Leto of House Atreides, the house he believes responsible for the destruction of his home planet and family, he will be forced to question a lifelong hatred. Tasked with overflowing the Atreides stronghold on Dune for his master, Japati will be forced to choose between duty and forgiveness. A poignant, blood-soaked tale expanding the rich mythology of Frank Herbert's Dune by New York Times bestselling authors Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, with art by Adam Goren. And there will also be a second printing of the Power Rangers Unlimited Edge of Darkness that sold out really fast. I think we have 1 copy left at our store. Heading deep into the comics and graphic novels section now. The Archie and Friends continues the Archie comic-sized reprint series. So you get some classic stories in there, but some summer vacation fun. The Argus will be collected very soon here. When boy genius Randall Patton invents the time machine, the temporal police force, the Argus, is created. Made up of 100 different versions of Randall from various points throughout his life, including one version who is a monstrous killer who is targeting the other Randalls. Learning to travel through time, young Randall will discover who the real enemy is. Time itself. How can you fight time? Barbaric is getting a second printing. We are out of #1s despite a fairly heavy order. It is such a fun book. I highly recommend folks read it. It's like a Conan the Barbarian with a lot of dark humor laced in. And I really, really enjoyed it. Black of Heart finally gets a collection as well. I know a lot of people who are waiting on this one to come out. 1949, a depraved serial killer stalks the streets in his yellow taxi, dumping the ravaged bodies of random women in the back alleys of New York City. Homicide detective Drake Harper is condemned to pick up the pieces, but as the body count rises, Drake's personal life spirals out of control, and no amount of booze can silence the voices of his past. Crash and Troy, number 1. Crash and Troy in the morning. Explosions, space chases, cat videos. Crash and Troy are mercs for hire. Latest mission, break out some blue nerd from an intergalactic prison. Who cares? But blue nerds' post-prison plans might kill billions. I mean, it's got cat videos in here, so we're definitely going to check it out. We are consistent who we are. Damned cursed children. Damned cursed children! In the sudden aftermath of a series of horrifying attacks, a group of strangers are forced together in a city gone mad under the onslaught of an unimaginable terror. Children! Can they overcome every deeply ingrained human instinct and do the unimaginable to survive in a world overrun with damned cursed children? Collecting all 5 issues of the acclaimed hit miniseries with behind-the-scenes bonus content and a special introduction from Jimmy Palmiotti. The 8th Immortal. 7 immortals walk the earth. Never can there roam an 8th. This prophecy has defined the millennial-long life of Carapan, who possesses the world-saving power to unmake immortals. Haunted by the lives that she has stolen, Carapan struggles to make sense of a reality defined by trauma and loss. But when her burden becomes more than she can bear, Carapan seeks to reclaim her forgotten humanity and finds herself caught in the middle of a primordial war between the spirits of life and death. Freaks and gods. Ensnared by the dark tunnel on a seemingly endless journey through time and space, the first god Atom, adventurer and test pilot Steph Alexander, and the foredoomed Silver Knight Bargist travel from realm to realm, hoping the next adventure will break the curse and return them home. The trio battle a zombie takeover, fight a conquering sleep demon, and clash with Nazis. Discover the ghost of Merlin and stop a lonely queen from destroying the multiverse. Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a second series. If you're fans of the video game, the first series did incredibly well, and this one also does have a Momoko cover for the first issue. The last book you'll ever read, from Cullen Bunn and Leila Liz. Civilization is a lie. Hidden deep in our genes is the truth, and it is slowly clawing its way to the surface. Olivia Cade knows the truth, and she has become the prophet of the coming collapse. Her book, Satyr, is an international bestseller, and it is being blamed for acts of senseless violence and bloodshed all over the world. Olivia's own life is in danger from those who have read her work. Determined to conduct a book tour, she hires security professional Connor Wilson to act as her bodyguard. She only has one requirement: he cannot read her work. Some interior pages for you. Oh. Runes number 1. In 850 CE Alba, present-day Scotland, it is night. A storm rages on the Great Sea, and a Viking Drakkar is shipwrecked against the cliffs. The only prisoner on the ship, a Northman, miraculously manages to escape. Fleeing from his past, from unforgiving nature, and armed with only luck, the man moves into the clearings on the coast, foreigner and hated in this land, the skilled Viking warrior will clash with the inhabitants of Alba, while a powerful witch watches him, fighting for his life, surviving for revenge, a Northman. Of course, I'm going to look up what Sasquatch in Love is about. I have a guess. An unlikely romantic triangle forms between Lonely Holden, the world's last Sasquatch, Grace, the documentary filmmaker who comes to a small town in rural Oregon to expose him, and Holden's love-scarred friend Felix, the town veterinarian, collecting the 4-issue comedy about longing, belonging, and Bigfoot. God, that seems very sweet. That is definitely a book that's going to end up in our store. All right, I believe that will do it for this area here. So let's get moving and shaking on some lunar. Ooh la la. So for lunar, let's pop this up. Actually, let's get back here. So lunar is going to be a bit different this week, because the upcoming final order cutoff is going to be the same for both Universal customers like myself and Lunar customers. So if you are a customer with Lunar, this is due not this week, but next week. And we'll probably go over it again next week, because that's just what we do. For Universal folks, this is due on Thursday. Always very important to get those in, because you can't really, there's no takesies backsies. The Basket Full of Heads trade paperback. What an absolutely gorgeous looking book, and a really, really creepy story. June Branch is in trouble. She's trapped on Brody Island with nowhere to run. Her boyfriend Liam has been kidnapped, and 4 bloodthirsty escaped convicts will stop at nothing to find her. All poor June has to defend herself is with a strange Viking axe with a terrifying power to decapitate a person and leave their head still talking. If she's going to save Liam and herself, June will have to keep a cool head, or even a whole basket full of them. From #1 New York Times bestselling author Joe Hill comes Basket Full of Heads, the flagship title in the smash hit Hill House Comics library, featuring incredible artwork by Leo Max. This spine-tingling collection includes the entire 7-issue miniseries, as well as character designs and behind-the-scene sketches. There's also the Batman Curse of the White Knight soft cover collection, for those of you who've been waiting for the soft cover, and Batman in the 50s, collecting a whole bunch of stories from, oh, you guessed it, Batman in the 50s. And do we have any other new books here? We've got the DC Comics Girls Unite box set that will feature a lot of the more female-led DC animated universe stuff, including Catwoman, Supergirl, Batgirl, and some Justice League tales. There is the Impure #1 second printing. Years after Nero and Minerva's homeworld Castor was destroyed by aliens, the siblings joined the dreaded Earth forces to ensure something like this will never happen again. When Minerva betrays Nero and all they have ever believed in, it is up to Nero to stop his sister before she reaches the alien alliance. For what Minerva has stolen may well turn the tides of war and spell humanity's downfall. The newest entry in the Scouts non-stop imprint. Enjoy the world premiere issue, followed by the entire collected edition soon after the first issue. Joker presents a puzzle box #1. Some of this is available digitally right now. You can read this. I've been reading a bit of it. It's a really, really interesting story, and it is, in fact, a puzzle box. It's story time. The GCPD discover a mysterious corpse, a magical box, and a murderer's row of the city's most dangerous villains sitting in a jail cell. Now all they need to figure out is what exactly happened. Fortunately, one suspect is willing to talk. Unfortunately, it's the Joker. Now, superstar writer Matthew Rosenberg, magnificent artist Jesus Moreno, and a multitude of rising star artists invite you to spend a night in the Gotham Central interrogation room for a dozen tales of murder, mayhem, and mystery as told by the clown Prince Crime himself. Can you solve this puzzle before the sun comes up? The next Batman Second Son collection. Discover the origin of the new Dark Knight. Tim Jace Fox, the estranged son of billionaire Lucius Fox, returns to Gotham City and takes on the mantle of Batman after being away for years. Where the eldest son of one of Gotham's premier families has been missing for years, and how did he become Gotham's new protector? The prodigal Fox returns home following the tragic events of the Joker War and Lucius Fox taking full control of the massive Wayne fortune. While his mother and sisters greet Jace, his younger brother Luke secretly, the armored vigilante known as Batwing does not welcome his sibling back with open arms. Is the city big enough for two Fox brothers? Find out how Jace evolved from man of mystery to Gotham's newest guardian. That will be it for this part here, but we've got one more little piece to show you, which is new. I am signed in. Good. Please get me my window back. I need my window back. Or else I can't do the things that I promised to all of you fine people. All right. This Sunday is the first week that there are final order cutoff items at Penguin Random House. This is incredibly important. Oh, that's our card. Let's go back. Oh, let's go back. Because I'm definitely ready for what we're doing right now. Baby, come back. See if this is what I wanted. It was. Hooray. So, F.O.C. for this Sunday. Yeah. Second, third, fourth. No, Monday. It's a Monday. When on Monday? That I can't tell you. So I would get this done on Sunday. You'll see a whole bunch of different manga of the Marvel previews, which you'll have to order through Penguin Random House. They are free. They are giveaways of the catalog that they have. And as you can see, they've got a whole bunch of different things, including stuff from Seven Seas Entertainment, which I believe just moved over from Raincoast here in Canada to Penguin Random House. So you'll see a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. And as well as some things like from Nobrow, which is very exciting. They are an absolutely gorgeous company doing absolutely gorgeous work. Raina Telgemeier meets Miyazaki in a Latin American twist in the mesmerizing follow-up to the best-selling children's graphic novel Nightlights. Lorena Alvarez's spunky heroine Sandy returns to explore a magical new dimension. On a school field trip to the river, Sandy wanders away from her classmates and discovers an empty turtle shell. Peeking through the dark hole, she suddenly finds herself within a magical realm filled with sculptures, paintings, and books. The turtle shell is a museum of the natural world, but one painting is incomplete, and the turtle needs Sandy's help to finish it. Beautiful. I will be figuring out a better way to do the Penguin Random House F.O.C is for y'all, including popping things out into different windows and all that kind of stuff. But this is a bit of a learning curve here. But as you can see, this is something that y'all will need to get in on. It also helps you with some of the DC graphic novels. I highly suggest Penguin Random House for that kind of thing, as they are free shipping, and that often will give you a better deal than what Lunar or Universal will give you. I love the folks at Universal. This is, just a business thing that keeps us going pretty well here. And things like the Supergirl, Girl of Steel Adventures, The Last God, Book 1 of the Felspire Chronicles, outstanding book. It was on Lunar's Final Order cutoff a little while ago. It is happening here. Sandman Deluxe Volume 3, and all kinds of really cool different items, including some hardcovers from Marvel. This stuff is starting now, so be aware and get your orders in. We'll be going through some more of that next time. But for now, that is all we have. Thank you all for watching. Next week should be a lot quicker because I will be leaving here at 3 p.m., going to our old location. And from 4 to 7, we'll be running a clearance center. And that'll be great. In the meantime, I'll be making random buttons for the sound machine, like big yikes from me, like something like that, or I've made a huge mistake, or
Nope.
just all kinds of stuff. And also one of my favorites.
I keep them up here because it's away from the knives.
Why would I want that?
I keep them up here because it's away from the knives.
Who knows? It could be any reason. But I'm very glad that all of you could get something cool out of this. And hey, thanks for watching. I hope you all are trying to stay cool in any way that you can. If you're in Edmonton, I know that any city building is taking people in to cool off. You can hang out there during this massive, massive heat. And if you're elsewhere, definitely look up your municipality, see what they're doing to keep people cool. Some businesses are handing out free ice cold water, doing what they can. So thank you all for watching, and we will talk to you again next time. Bye.